episode number 366.
For me, money creates freedom to go after things that are near and dear to me. And time and learning and helping others are probably the top three.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis, Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis, Too Tall and Huff. Folks, you know your boy is always fired up, but especially on days when I get to talk about my favorite hobby, collectibles and sports cards. And especially after this show, I think you're going to want to think about yourself as a one of one. I think you're going to want to think about someone that can change the world in many different ways. It might look a little different for you and your story, but I'm talking about someone that is doing it in a big way in the sports card game. Mr. Chicken, one of one. Chicken, are you ready to be real?
I am beyond ready. I'm excited, so thank you for having me.
Absolutely, my man. You came across the scene in the hobby because obviously popping up on breakers pages and blessing folks with boxes, with the blessing and opportunity, because we talked about kind of prior to the show. It's expensive, guys. We know to break a box of sports cards. And some are affordable, the H2s and some of these things, but the hits are not going to maybe be there to get the paydays, but the breaking aspect of sports cards can really be incredible. But most importantly, my question to you, my man Chicken, is have you always been into collecting? Have you always been into, the sports cards thing since a kid?
I grew up in the junk wax era of the 90s and, have fond memories of going to local hobby shops with my dad on a Saturday afternoon or going to a local show and, we'd hang out for an hour and it was a lot of fun and kind of grew out of it. And as COVID, as many people found with COVID, we're digging through our closets and things of that nature. And I found a neighbor that's into cards as well. And it had been many years since we have done this. And we ended up buying, he has two boys and I have two girls, and the wives wanted us and the kids out of the house for an afternoon. So he was like, well, let's go look and see if we can find some boxes. And I said, sure. So we drove around and ended up at a hobby shop and got I think it was a hobby of Topps Heritage.
Oh, nice.
And went in the basement and opened that up, and it just brought back all that nostalgia, and it was fun and mindless to a degree of, it was entertainment. And we would once a month buy a hobby box of Topps Series 1 baseball, and then we'd sell whatever we could on eBay at, under comps just to make sure that we weren't, spending too much and
getting some money back, recouping some of that money back on those boxes. It's smart. That's a smart strategy. It's a very smart strategy.
And then it morphed into learning more about, it's been a number of years since I've been in the hobby, and I did not realize how popular online breaking and personals and everything were, and just started learning more about it, and would from time to time, we'd buy something on Mint Inc., and then found other pages, and I found the Backyard Guys. I want to say it was the end of August.
Got you.
And
those guys are fun.
They are beyond fun. So I bought a box and got in a break and ended up pulling a one-of-one gold standard Patrick Mahomes card. And then I'd pulled a Kyler RPA, and I gave that away to somebody in the chat. And people were just going crazy. So they invited me down to pick the card up. And it was a redemption, so they could have scratched and sent it to me, but I wasn't going to pass up the opportunity to go hang out with these guys for an evening.
Yeah, just to start that relationship, because that's part of the hobby is people forget. A lot of this is it comes back to relationships, friendships that are built through the collectible aspect of obviously the hobby and the love for it all, right?
And we'll touch on that. The people that I've met and the stories that I have heard just in the last week are just incredible. And that's, I think, what fuels this passion of Chicken. So I like my privacy.
Yes.
So I said, if we're going to go down there and be on camera, I don't want people to know who I am. So my nickname's been Chicken ever since high school. So I bought a chicken mask and a Mahomes jersey, and we headed down there. And I thought, this card's worth $20,000 or $30,000. Let's have some fun and see if we can raise some money. I'm a big Panthers fan, and I love the Steve Smith Foundation.
Oh, I love that guy.
So reached out to him, and he shot like a hype video, just like a 15-second hype video. for us. And I thought, we can have some fun with this. So I purchased a case of National Treasures First Off the Line NBA. And that case was $26,000 and it had 4 boxes in it, 11 cards in each box. And they were doing a slab mixer that night. And I said, anytime someone hits a Patrick Mahomes, let's open one of the boxes.
Ooh.
So I had an elementary school through high school friend that lives down in Boca, and he tagged along. And I didn't have the guts to pick the box on the first go, so I had Magoo pick it. And first box we opened, the second to last card is a LaMelo Ball RPA to 99.
Bam.
So that's more like we're going to have some fun with this. So we opened one more box and then bought a box of Spectra basketball, and we put the 2 remaining National Treasures up for auction along with the Spectra to where, they would bid on a spot and they randomized it, and all that money was donated to the Steve Smith Family Foundation and raised $10,000 for him. And I mean, we had an absolute blast, and that's kind of how Chicken was born. And I thought this is such a unique way to meet people, learn stories, help causes. So it's been a whirlwind. That was September 1st. So we're 4 weeks.
Wow. 3 weeks, dude. You've created a movement, man, in 3 weeks.
I did never in a million years would have thought this would have come of it, it's the greatest thing about it is the amount of fun that I'm having.
Right.
I mean, that's a blast. It's awesome to hear folks' stories. So so there's Collectibles, and she runs a foundation called Mr. Strongman, and it's for families with children that have severe autism and disabilities. And it helps just share the story of what she's going through with her son, Landon, who has the same autism and things of this nature. And they help with speech therapy and other occupational therapy and physical therapy for these families. And she reached out and had been having a lot of fun helping spread the awareness of what she does. And I mean, it touched my heart to know, she goes through a lot. And her first thought was, how do I help others in the same situation? And that just, I don't know. I mean, if that doesn't get you excited that someone wants to take their story and help others with it, I don't know what does. And I've met many people like her. Jeff, who has ALS, he's a basketball coach. He's nonverbal, but communicates through the technology with the eyeballs and the computer screen. I met a lady named Dee. She's been battling ovarian cancer for 6 years, and bought her a box. And she said, the utter joy that I have knowing that my kids will open this package when it arrives is beyond exciting. And it's things that I think we take for granted in our daily lives if we're not actively seeking to learn other stories.
Right.
We get, I'm not going to say stuck, but we only deal with what we know.
Absolutely.
And when you have a platform like this, like Instagram, where you can connect with people from all over the country, it's just incredible the people I've met. It's been just a ton of fun. So I don't know how long it'll last.
Right.
As long as my wife will let me continue, spending money on doing this, I guess, but it's been incredible. And the breakers have been awesome. The message I get of people just excited and
other people doing the same thing too. But wanted to help out, maybe give the same way. I know you're talking about the break it forward movement. Kind of. We've seen that. We've seen someone buy someone a Starbucks coffee, and then for the next day, people are buying a Starbucks coffee, and breaking or cards is just another really fun way of giving back. Nostalgic in many ways, right? But now it's like different because like when we were kids, you break you open the pack yourself. Now someone else is breaking this product for you because maybe you can't even get this product at your local hobby shop or whatever, because sometimes product is that rare. And then you hit something like a LaMelo Ball out of 99, which is a big payout for you, that you can sell. And then now you're able to give back to others. And so how are you fueling this? Just by your own sales of cards too as well?
Cards and just personal money. I've been fortunate enough in the business world that
that's awesome, bro.
I'm able to set aside a portion and go have fun doing this. And I think what's important for folks to remember, because I get a lot of people that reach out and they'll say, I wish I could break it forward. I don't have any money. And I think what the real key to remember is you don't have to have money to break it forward. I think the most important resource we have is our time and our kindness.
Boom.
And a lot of these folks are younger, and just learning someone's story, sharing kindness, empathy, helping them any way you can. That's breaking it forward. I use cards as a medium, but through the cards, I get to learn people's stories. And I hope that spreading their message and their story can help raise awareness, or it can help get donations to their foundation, or it just brightens their day.
Right.
And that's what it comes down to is, chicken, I wear a mask. I like my privacy, but also people are fallible. When you have an idea, chicken's an idea. We can all be chickens. We can all break it forward. We can all be kind to others. We can all, give our time and our God-given talents and resources in different ways and make an impact. And I watched, grew up watching my mother and father do that as second nature. And I think I just saw, giving to me is very selfish, because what it provides me is a tremendous amount of joy and just happiness.
Right.
And you get to impact somebody else. And to me, win-wins are the best. We all knew that kid trading cards that would offer you 10 really bad cards for your one good card you didn't know about. And those are never fun trades. The best trades are the win-wins.
Straight fair trade. Everyone gets what they want.
And I think giving's that fair trade. It's that win-win that, you get to impact someone's life, but you also get impacted by their story. And the more you learn about people, the more it just helps you, be grateful for things that maybe you weren't grateful for, because there are folks going through some really difficult things that have amazing outlooks and attitudes and drive. And it's inspiring, and it's awesome. It's what we need more of.
It's what we need more of, man. So I think we can find more ways to fuel the hobby. Connected to Upper Deck, man. Maybe I can connect you with Jody over there marketing and see what they can do. Maybe not, these are the people that make the cards that, you could have to give away at the end of the day. And in a simple way, a lot of times us that have collectibles might be collectibles or cards rich.
Yeah.
We just got a lot of stuff sitting around. And so that's why I always try to do too, my man, is just always be giving back. It costs a little money in postage, costs a little money in, licking a stamp, putting the address on there, sending off a post to, USPS. But I've always done that in my life in general, to be honest with you, just in giving before even I got back into the hobby, same as you with the pandemic and just going back into my Kobe collection. I got really into, I got some Kobe rookies and I started learning about grading and finally getting some of my cards back graded. My Dak Prescott here.
Nice. That's
patch
a nice
rookie.
patch.
It's a cool patch. This is one of 25. This is from his rookie season. And I actually got a chance to go down and slap Dak's patch one time when I was my very first game. Me and my wife were like, you know what? Let's go to the game, Cowboys game. We went down there and they were like, hey, upgrade for $250. Go down there below. And we got to shake Jerry Jones' hand and experience it. So I personally have a little love for Dak myself, but so I took the risk in hitting him. I hit when he was walking by. I'm going to hit him on his shoulder pad. I'm going to hit him on his shoulder. Well, bam! I hit him on his shoulder. But let's go! And he looked back at me. I was like, oh shit, am I going to get in trouble? And but anyways, the whole point in general in life is that a lot of times we're card rich, or we have a lot of things sitting around that we can also give back in many ways too. And then if we got money, you can also hop on a breaking page and kind of do the same thing Chicken's doing and giving back in that way. And then if you aren't even into that in general, just thinking about in different ways giving, I think is a big message of what you do, because like you said, cards are just the way you're doing it. And it's kind of the fun and joy you get to see. It kind of feels like you're opening the box too, but then someone else gets the benefit.
Yeah. I mean, Suthi. So
he's a good dude in the hobby too, man.
Exactly. So I learned about him just from, being in the chats and people were always speaking very highly of Suthi. And we had a quick conversation and then he joined one of the chats one night. So I had bought some stuff, and one of them was 2 Spectre packs, and we let him pick the first pack, and he pulled a Anthony Edwards RPA to 25, and they think it's worth 10 to 20 grand. And I thought, what an awesome person to go to, because he's already loved in this. It'll go into his collection, but he'll probably move a few things out to send to some people, and it's just. And I tell anyone that gets a card or a box or things, those are your cards. So I don't know where you are in life and what your journey is. If you want to hold on to them, great. If you want to sell them for something else because you want to go to school, great. Like, do with it as you please. It's a gift to have fun with.
Right.
And who knows in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years what that'll turn in. I mean, I imagine this is kind of a payback to people that have helped me throughout my life, right? That I can't pay back. And I think the best way to do it is show them that I'm appreciative of the help they've given me. So I pass it on to others. And the hope is that they do the same.
Yes.
And we just have just more fun, getting to know people, their stories, connecting. And that for me is where the real fun comes in all of this. I mean, I love watching when they pull huge cards,
right?
But I also love learning their stories just as much.
You get the 2-part, dude. And you're taking the perspective of, like it's like my favorite perspective. You're not expecting any you're not actually looking for anything outside of just to do the action of giving. And, that is a beautiful thing in general in life. And also a lot of people are impressed by this because the hobby in general, I think, has gotten more profit. Do this, do that, flip this, and more about the money than my belief is if you love the card, you love the card. Like, I love this Tony Romo card. I'll probably never really sell this card. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's priceless to me. It costs whatever, 300 and something bucks. But to me, that card's priceless. You know what I mean? And some cards you have to literally say, I get to actually look at and then eventually sell to somebody. I don't know if I'm going to keep this one, Yogi Berra one. At some point, you just have to make those decisions, like you mentioned. And I think that's the beautiful thing about the hobby, too, is that it has some liquidity. I mean, you can actually these things are very, very much an asset in your pocketbook.
And, it's interesting I grew up, some of the questions, do you invest in stocks or real estate? I was always told you buy a house, it'll appreciate, you invest in your 401k and that's how, you have your money when you retire.
Right.
And that's not false. Nowadays, I met a 22-year-old kid and this was before I started doing this, but he asked me for some financial advice. And I said, well, I'm not great at financial advice, but I said, I can put you in touch with people who are. So tell me what's going on. He said, well, I made a little money in the stock market and crypto. And I said, well, do you mind sharing? And he said, it was like $110,000 in the last 3 months. And I said, what I want you to realize is the amount of money you have right now at your age, if you do wise things with it, the opportunities you have down the road and the freedom you have will be incredible. And it's the freedom to spend your time as you want, give as you want, help as you want, learn as you want. Like that's the true, for me, money creates freedom to go after things that are near and dear to me. And time and learning and helping others are probably the top 3. In time being able to spend it with my family is number 1, and then friends, and then learning new hobbies or things of that nature. I mean, that's the key, because we all know plenty of people that make plenty of money and they're just miserable. Right. And we know folks that make a good living and they have all the joy and happiness in the world. And perspective is a big thing. And one quote that I love that I always, when things are difficult or even when things are good, if you don't like something, change it. And if you can't change it, change how you think about it. And that's always resonated with me of, mindset's probably the most powerful thing you have, along with gratitude. And in one of the questions, we talked about was what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? I named 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for. And what I find out is, I get to 5 and then I can find 5 more and then 5 more after that. And then whatever may be bothering me or weighing me down is so small in comparison to all the things that I have and I'm grateful for that I realize, this isn't that big of a deal.
Right.
And but that's taken years. That has taken years of doing it the wrong way to get to where I feel like I found something that has worked for me.
That's the most important thing is that you're doing what is working for you, right? Like, I think that's the most important thing we all forget is that the Be Real Show is being you. You can only be one, and there's only one chicken 101 out there in the world. And I know they're going to continue to do bigger and bigger things. But now, my man, we're going to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Apple or Android?
I've had an Android, but I am now an Apple user.
Let's go. Apple, they converted you. Netflix or YouTube?
I love, YouTube. For any young listeners, we used to have to go to the library and find encyclopedias and then read and try to translate what it was saying. I fixed my garage door. I've restrung my weed whacker. I mean, the amount of things that you can find on YouTube to learn in a matter of minutes and it's free is unbelievable.
Right.
You literally can be and do anything you want with these videos, and that's why I love YouTube. And it's awesome to see people share their knowledge for others to learn from.
Yeah, every type of emphasis, every type of thing, technician, Some things you're going to want to have a bring in a specialist for, but you're absolutely right. So many things you literally can learn with the specialist right there by your side, teaching you how to do it. And it's an accomplishing tool. It's an incredible tool. If you're not using YouTube outside of just videos and content and things like that, and it's such an instructional tool that it's a game changer. Awesome. And constantly new content. As we're talking here today, 100 million new videos just got uploaded. Yesterday. It's constant. Yeah, it's constant. Instagram or Facebook?
Honestly, neither, because I've never been a big social media guy, but Instagram now, and I'm seeing the power of being able to reach people through it. So I like Instagram, and I got on TikTok, but I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing on there. So right now, Instagram is my go-to.
Right now, the Chicken 101, we'll put that in the show notes as well. When you're thinking about a good meal, is it chicken or steak?
Chicken fried steak. Let's have the best of both.
Let's go. That sounds amazing. Laptop or a smartphone?
Man, my fingers are so fat that the amount of errors I make typing, I have to use a laptop more often than not.
Yes. That only thing I like now, they're getting better with the audio feature. You hit the audio, but I record what I say here and type it in there for me.
Yep.
Because they haven't figured that out. Keyboard hasn't got quite good for us guys. Got a little bit bigger hands out there. Spotify or Pandora?
I'm an Apple Music guy, and I listen to probably the same 12 songs. When I find, something I like, it stays in a rotation, and then I find, 10 new songs to listen to. I'm rather bland in that nature.
Keep the rotation tight.
Yes.
I like it. Hey, that's right. Keep the rotation tight. Movies or video games?
Probably movies.
More stuff to do with the family. Do you have kiddos?
I have two girls.
Nice.
6 and 3, and so they're young now. But we've watched Frozen 1 and 2. I don't know, 6,000 times. So I'm thankful for the movies, and they love going to the movies. And we make a date night out of it. I take them out. We'll get some popcorn, then go to dinner, and then get ice cream afterwards. Once a month, and it's great. It's a great way to spend time with them.
It's the best, dude. Always leaning into that is like the best, right?
It's being a parent's one of the greatest gifts I've ever been given. I don't think I truly knew what love was until, it's a different type of love that I have for my wife, and it's special, and it's just in having girls, man, they got me wrapped around their fingers. I don't stand a chance.
My oldest is a girl, and then I got one boy. But dude, you're absolutely right. There's nothing like that feeling, and you gotta appreciate it while they're young, because at some point, they're gonna be gone. They're gonna be doing their own thing, and they're gonna be like, dang, you missed those times. Reading books or listening to books?
I like to read books.
Nice. Get the physical. When you're thinking about diversifying the portfolio outside of sports cards and things like that, stocks or real estate?
So I'll have a guy that does stocks for me, and I tell him my risk tolerance, and
absolutely
real estate I understand much. I have a better grasp on, and I'll dabble in just different ventures and things of that nature, because I understand it much more, and I enjoy it. It's fun to go look at properties and have vision for what something can be if you're going to fix it up and flip it or rent it. It's neat to see something that other people don't see.
Yes.
And then create something out of it.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people now are doing that where they upgrade them into an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And they make a decent cash flow monthly just doing that. It's crazy. It's unbelievable different ways to make money now with real estate. When you're thinking about a vacation, chicken, because you deserve one, man, ocean or a lake, which one are you going to pick?
As long as there's a mountain nearby, I'm good. I'm a larger guy, so I'm not built for the heat. So I like weather. So a lake in the mountains in the summer is my ideal. Anything over about 3,000 foot elevation, so it's nice and cool.
I love that, dude. We need that. We're in the Central Valley, man, so it gets hot out here.
Oh.
And like Lake Tahoe or somewhere beautiful like that. But when you're waking up for your day, my man, you're getting yourself ready, pumped, energized for the day. Why do you love being you, Mr. Chicken 101?
Man, I'm in a place in life where 99% of my time is exciting. It's either exciting because the girls and I get to do something new, and I get to see the excitement and the experience of something new through their eyes. I'm at a place where I get to get involved in different ventures, whether it's giving or business or things of that nature, that it's outside my comfort zone. And I'm a huge believer of you don't grow if you're comfortable. And that doesn't mean you have to be uncomfortable all the time, but I really try to
Limited risk, limited income. That was my buddy sent me that shirt.
Limited experience. I mean, it's all those sorts of things. And, 5 or 6, I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan. And
nice.
5 or 6 years ago, my wife just saw that I was I wasn't growing. And she said, you need to go take the class at the local comedy club and learn how to do stand-up comedy. So did a 6-week, class and ended up doing well enough to where I got a couple gigs hosting some shows for like actual comedy. And it was one of the most fun things I've ever done. I mean, it was terrifying every single time I was on stage.
Right.
But it was unbelievable to do something outside my comfort zone and learn something new. So I owe that to her.
That's awesome,
and that really spurred my desire to get uncomfortable in things.
You're pushing it to be a better chicken, be stronger, be even better, and that's the part
about the best chicken you can be.
Let's go, baby. That's how, when everyone's asked, like, how do you do a podcast? We're coming up on podcast number 400. The only way it's happened is literally 10 years or so, 8 to 10 years of podcasting consistently. And then people saying thing of public speaking. I need a public speaker. Dude, you got to do a show. You got to go out there and speak. You got to start seeing people. You got to talk to people. You only get better by anything. And that's the beautiful thing about it in life. It's so like yourself. Beautiful thing is that like embracing that. Hey, we don't know. Chicken might be up on the comedy scene next. You never know, man.
And you said something real important there. 10 years of doing this. This is important, especially for the younger folks. Everybody goes through a journey, and we all start at a place where it's embarrassing and we don't know what we're doing, and it's difficult and can be frustrating. And what you got to realize, though, that doesn't last forever. Like those learning pains go away, and you get better at it, and it becomes more fun. And the things that you're passionate about, if you're truly a student of it, and you try and you stick with it. I mean, how many downloads did your first podcast have?
Not very many, man.
Yeah. And how many do you have now?
A lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more, baby. Woo!
And it took 10 years. 10 years to get there.
Absolutely.
You planted those seeds a long time ago, and now they're turning into large trees, and that's awesome.
The beautiful thing, Chicken, is like on anything, I did it literally for a hobby, to meet new people, to meet Chicken, to meet people. And I changed my podcast many times because we run a social media agency. So in the beginning, first years, we're all social media influencers. All my buddies that I could get to come on the show because no one knew who the hell I was. And then now we're getting inundated with people, and we're saying, hey, come through. You get a book in February right now, because that's how our schedule is. Unless I like you, like my man Chicken, or people I love in the hobby. Specifically, a hobby I love is a sports card hobby. But I like to bring those people on because it mixes up my day specifically and the show in general, and it kind of exposes people. It diversifies the audience. It brings new eyeballs to the people in the sports cars, because a lot of people never heard of Panini, never heard of Upper Deck, never heard of Pole Kings, or never heard of the Breakers, or also, like I said, great people like yourself that are doing things that because you want to, and because without any intention. And I just commend incredible souls like you, my man. Is there a skill you're trying to master right now or get better at?
Patience is always at the top of that list. Patience is
right?
a skill I'm always trying to master.
That is the hardest one as a dad and a husband, and if you're an entrepreneur, you got a lot of things going on. Hey, patience, baby. That is a difficult one. And do you have a favorite app or a tool that you like using on the phone or on the desktop?
This sounds crazy, but Google Maps. I mean, the fact that I don't have to print out directions for MapQuest or things that make travel easier. It's unbelievable all the power we have in our hand these days. So I probably don't have a single favorite app. I do like to get on Reddit and read, and there's always entertaining things on there in certain areas. And I don't know, man. I'm kind of just overwhelmed by it all. I grew up in that era where we didn't have computers for the first 10 years of my life. And I remember when we got one and AOL came along, and we would run the really long phone cord to the computer at the kitchen table. And, we get an hour at night, and that was just unbelievable to me.
That was crazy days, man. I remember my brother left the AOL bill on, and it got like a $500 AOL bill because it was per minute or whatever they were charging you. Insane. Yeah. Oh my God. Be real, Chicken. If you could sit down for a chicken steak dinner with anyone, a chicken fried steak dinner with anyone in the world, who would you want to sit down and chop it up with?
You know, this answer now it'd be my father. He passed away when I was a teenager, and I was fortunate to have the years I did with him. But I never got a chance to know him as an adult, right? As a fellow father and fellow husband. And right. Man, I think I'd give just about anything to have a dinner and sit down and just catch up and show him, my family and what I've accomplished thanks to what he and my mother have just displayed for me all those years. And sorry to get a little teary eyed, but I mean that, I thought about that question a lot, and that would be the dinner, just one dinner to catch up and share what's going on.
Absolutely. In many ways, he's probably watching. We don't know.
I hope so.
I always believe that, everyone's got their eye, on us. The universe is incredible. And he's probably really proud of you, dude. I mean, I can only imagine seeing the life you created for yourself, but also what you're doing, not only for, in many different ways. We don't even know. But this is just probably one of the ways you're giving. But it's a beautiful thing, man. So I just always say, man, anyone in life that is positive, that is opening doors, that is thinking positive and keeping the glass full, baby. And you, my man, are doing that for us. And so I hope that more and more people in life, in the hobby, in general, in business, think about this in their lives. How can you be a one-on-one? How can you change someone's life? Not only get to know them, but also give in a big way. So who is your PC, my man? I know you like the Chiefs. I know you said a few different teams. Who do you like the PC?
I either sell the cards or give them away.
Wow!
I get a lot of kids that reach out to me and or parents that I can't afford hobby boxes, and I have all these cards sitting around, and I ask, what teams do they love? Who do they collect? Let me just send you a care package because there's big cards that I'll sell off to keep funding this.
Right.
But anything under $100 I'll give away because I know someone's going to just enjoy that. And probably enjoyed a lot more than I would just, having someone sell it on eBay. So that's what I love doing with them.
It's incredible, dude. It's like the biggest gift, dude. Because a lot of times people will keep it forever. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff is their PC. They will keep it forever. So I love it, man. Let's go, baby. Let's all be a little more of a chicken 101 today. Where's your favorite place for people to hang out and follow you? Because I know we kind of plug the IG a little bit, but we'll plug it a little more.
Instagram's about all I can handle.
That's all you got right now. That's all we got for my man right now.
I try to keep up, with anyone that contacts me. I try to respond to them as quick as I can because I think it's unbelievable. I mean, there's going to be a day in life, and my biggest fear is that when my phone doesn't ring, people don't want to visit or talk to me, and that's a reality. And I think anybody reaching out, no matter what they want to, discuss, and there's a lot of things that I've been approached about that. There was one gentleman, and this was my favorite one. He sent me all these photos of this Mercedes, and he said, "Hey, I'm $2,500 short to buy this car, but I can flip it." Here, and he even sent me a photo of his ID, and I said, "I mean, I appreciate you offering, but I can't help out." And he said, "No worries, love what you're doing in the card hobby." And that was the last. And it was one of the neatest. I was like, that was unexpected, but it's just neat to see. And I try to respond to everybody I possibly can because there's just a lot to learn and a lot of great people to meet.
Absolutely. And people feel intention, right? So we feel the intention and we know the intention is amazing when you're blessing people. And like you said, you're either selling it or you're giving it away. And that's just a beautiful thing, man. So congratulations, my brother, on your journey. And I think the chicken's going to be popping up on more feeds soon. So be on the lookout. And I just want to thank you, my man. Folks, you've been hanging out with Chicken 101 and Travis, Too Tall and Huff. Thank you again for your time today, and let's keep being real.
Thank you, Travis. This was awesome.
Let's go.
What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. And also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T-Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it. And thank you so much for listening today. We're all going through a lot right now. And Real-Time Outsource, my business, is giving back to local and small businesses. through our social media services and campaigns, we are actually helping small businesses get more exposure during these times, and also when we get through these times. At the end of the day, we don't know how long this is all going to last, but most importantly, you got to think about your business right now. Take it seriously. So come check us out at realtimeoutsource.com, and we would love for you to qualify and get the process started where we can take a look at your business and see if we can qualify you for some of our services at little to no cost for most of the businesses. And some businesses, you're going to have to pay, but that's just part of life, right? But most importantly is that I think this is the time, folks, that you can actually help thrive in your business. And so I would love to help you personally with our team. We're all going through a tough time right now. So take advantage of us. realtimeoutsource.com. Check us out. And we would love to do some business with you and help you with your social and digital media in 2020 and beyond.